the Persian Empire. All right? What's the Persian Empire? Egypt, Anatolia, the Levant, Mesopotamia. This is Persia. Okay? So this is like the entire world. And like this small army, okay, it's not even the entire Greek army. It's basically the Macedonians only. This small army, the Macedonians, they're able to come and they're able to conquer all of it, okay? And the question then is how? Well, the same reason why the Qing was able to conquer the Jiao, the Wei, and the Chu, right? Because of elite competition, elite overproduction within these areas, because the elites have no loyalty, so a lot of these elites were switching sides over time. So what probably happened was that these certain elites invited Alexander to come over, and then they switched sides. So he was very quickly able to bulldoze. Also remember that when you reach an equilibrium, you become lazy, stupid, and arrogant, right? So this guy, Darius, he is now the king of kings, okay? He's leading the Persians. And he always believed that at some point, Alexander would stop, okay? He'd be like, you know what, you have Egypt, you have the Levant, you have Anatolia, you have parts of Mesopotamia. You know what I'll do? I'll give you all this territory, plus I'll give you half my treasury. So Darius thought he could just bribe Alexander. And his father, Philip II, would have been like, that's a great deal, I'm happy, sure. But Alexander was not like that, okay? Alexander is considered himself the son of God. And you will discover that all these great conquerors believe that they are divinity, that they are the son of God and they came on earth in order to unify the world. Okay? Genghis Khan was like this, Julius Caesar was like this, Napoleon was like this. All these great conquerors are unlimited. Like their appetite for conquest is insatiable. So, and this was unimaginable for these people. Like, we're giving you like all the money in the world. And that's not enough, okay? We'll give you the entire world. That's not enough, man. I want it all. So he kept on going. And he killed Darius, and then Darius died, and he conquered the entire Persian Empire. The problem, though, is that Alexander was being co-opted by the Persian elite. Remember, it was part of the Persian elite that invited Alexander to come over, and a lot of the Persian elite were switching sides. So Alexander was incorporating more and more of the Persian elite into his army, as well as into his administration. And so his Macedonian army is not happy about this. So they get together and they assassinate him, okay? And now the world is divided among his generals, okay? And this creates what we call the Hellenistic age. Okay? The world of the Greeks. And what is special about this world is now all three major cultures that came after the collapse of the Bronze Age, the Jews, the Greeks, and the Persians, come together in what we call syncretism. Syncretism just means a combining of religions to create the basis for Western civilization, okay? The syncretism will also give birth to a new religion that forever changes the world, and it is called Christianity. Okay? So Christianity comes from a merger of these three major worldviews. Okay? Now, once the Greeks conquer the world, they have a problem, which is there's not that many of them. Okay? So how do they control the world? Well, they control the world through religion, through culture. So what they will do is a man named Aristotle, who is Macedonian, and like this is something that you do not learn in history class, and it is such an important fact, okay? But the important fact is this: Philip II, the man who conquered Greece, and Aristotle, considered one of the most famous philosophers in human history, they were childhood best friends, okay? They grew up together, and it's something that you will never ever learn in school. Okay, but it's a very important fact that you need to understand. So another way of saying this is that the Macedonians had a plan to conquer the world for a long, long time. So what would happen is that Philip II would go to Greece to learn all the military innovations, but Aristotle would go to learn all the intellectual innovations of Greece. So his teacher was Plato, okay? So he learned from Plato at the academy. And what Aristotle will do is he will take Greek knowledge and will systemize it into a knowledge of empire, okay? So what do I mean by that?